Hey people, this is Susan Van Brackle with On Fleek Digital Magazine TV, and today I have the honor of interviewing Madam Prom, if you will. She is on the board of directors for Operation Prom, the consummate initiative that allows women who have studied well and hard gain access to the most unbelievable prom dresses to celebrate their achievement. So welcome, Candace. Candace Hudson, prom madam and producer extraordinaire. Welcome today.
Hi. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm well, and you tell us what is the news on Operation Prom, your latest accomplishment of becoming a board member, and where Operation Prom is going.
Absolutely. Operation Prom this year actually became Operation Prom National Network. And what that did for us, it allowed us to be more effective and useful in the community. So what we do now is we created a network where all of our chapters have changed their names to become their own individual chapter. And we now can also welcome other prom initiatives in the community who are looking for support. So with our, years, we have over 10 years of experience, about 14 years actually of experience in this space, and we have a lot of national support from a lot of different vendors and organizations that we understand that there are other initiatives going on in the community, and instead of us kind of going against them or us feel like we're competing and then they do reach out for help, why not become a network where now you can become a part of our network and receive support and help from us.
I think
uh,
that's amazing because, when you say 10 years, it just seems only light years ago that you and I met, and, you were thriving and pushing this initiative forward in the Queens area. And to see it grow and flourish the way it has, and now in this new digital space that we're all in. Tell us how this year's prom is going to be affected by school closures, perhaps.
Yeah, and just this morning, I just received word that for NYC, school is now will be online in the online learning sector for the remainder of the academic school year. So there will not, there are no physical graduations or physical proms, and we usually would need that obviously to serve the community. So what we are doing is we came up with a new initiative that we just started for June 6th. We are going to stream prom everywhere. And that's not going to be NYC, just NYC, because we are a national organization and we are in other states. But this is going to be across the US. We are going to stream prom everywhere. So we encourage everyone to go to operationprom2020.org, sign up for the mailing list so that you can get information regarding that.
That is so exciting. I mean, it actually takes it in such a broad scale. I mean, what is supposed to, or what is designed in mind to hurt us, where you can't celebrate this achievement in a traditional way, has now morphed into something that is potentially global.
Yes, absolutely. And for us, we're there to serve the ones that have been working hard. They've earned that privilege to attend prom, and some of them didn't have the means to do so. So here it is. When we stream prom, everyone gets to come.
That's fantastic. Tell us how you got started in Operation Prom. I mean, tell us your journey.
Wow. So I got started with Operation Prom 10 years ago. And now what used to be the Queens chapter of Operation Prom, we are now Shonda's Prom Closet, a part of that Operation Prom National Network. And Shonda's Prom Closet is in memory of my sister, Shonda Brown, who was lived in Queens, and she was murdered back in 2007. And when I went through that time, it was very, hurtful, depressing. My mom and dad had three daughters. She was our my middle sister, and we were very, very close. And it was a very hurtful time for me and my family. And when I went through a state of depression, I just didn't know how to get out of it. And one year for my birthday, I decided to put it out to my friends, like, hey, let's go volunteer somewhere. and it was very heavy on my heart to do something with teenagers because my sister was very into she worked at a shelter and she helped a lot of people, and we were always giving and taking things to the shelter. So I decided to volunteer at a prom giveaway. It was not Operation Prom, but it was a prom giveaway. And I actually didn't love the experience. And I was like, oh, I wish it was like this, or I wish it was like that. So I started like, you know what? I could just do my own. Right. And I don't know where all of this came from. And
That's where sometimes, grief takes us into our creative self and it brings about something absolutely beautiful.
absolutely. And that's exactly what it did. And I found Operation Prom. And then what I loved about it is that when I found Operation Prom, they were like, hey, you could create your own chapter with our support.
Mm-hmm,
And I
mm-hmm.
spoke to the founder, Noel Delaco Emirati, and we clicked immediately. Like we felt like old friends speaking on the phone. It was her spirit, it was her energy, and we connected so well. And I got started right away, right at my church, Zion Gospel Church in Jamaica, New York. We were in the basement. I had about 60 girls register the first time, and maybe 40 show up. And I remember it was raining. I was crying because I thought like no one would show up because it was my very first one. But it was fun. And then the next year, we had 150 girls.
Wow. Wow. That's something, That's a testament. And from 150 girls to, oh my gosh, I've seen
Oh, yeah.
Operation
And
Proms that are a full-on deluge of young ladies, extraordinary women, going on to great things in their trajectory through school, and they're being rewarded with so many things, gowns, um,
oh, and don't forget
accessories,
the young men.
shoes. Hmm.
Yeah.
So tell us, how do young ladies become? Is it still going to be the same criteria to be affiliated with Operation Prom and awarded the ball gown and or the gown and the other accessories? What is the
Okay.
process? Has it changed or is it still the same?
The process, even though now we're like Shonda's prom closet, the
Hmm.
process to receive prom wear is still the same because we do serve. We started out in Queens only serving the young ladies. We still have a partnership with Men's Warehouse for the young men,
That's
where each high school receives 2 free tuxedos. And for each chapter, it's your decision to have tuxedos on site. And for us, we just started having tuxedos on site within the last 2 years. So that's been a transition for us now, having the young men as well as the young ladies. So the process is still the same. You can apply through our website. You can contact your local chapter, and we will send you an application. Now, the application must be signed by your guidance counselor because that's us verifying that you are in good standing to attend prom. And we know that if you're in good standing to attend prom, that means you've been earning the right grades.
all right. So in this virtual world, how does that happen now? Do you have like connections with the high schools and guidance counselors so that they know that they're able to get that information to you when someone fills out an application?
Right. So when you fill out an application, you take it to your guidance. You fill out all the information that's there. You take it to your guidance counselor, and you actually send that application back to us. And we have someone who actually verifies with the guidance counselor once we receive back the application.
Okay. That helps because I mean I could just imagine, trying to get verifications and letters and what have you. It's not that it's not doable, but it's just different. It's just
Yes.
different now. When do you plan to schedule your next Operation Prom event, or is that in the works?
Well, we were scheduled this year for our 10-year anniversary for April 25th. With school now being closed and the world being closed right now, we will be planning for next year. So right now we're just going to focus on our streaming prom event for June 6th and what that would entail, and trying to make it the biggest thing ever for our graduating seniors because we know that they are going through right now.
Mm-hmm,
For
mm-hmm.
them to have worked all this time, all these years, and not be able to celebrate with their friends at prom night. We want to do something really, really special for them. So, we're all putting our heads together to make sure that goes off well.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will be planning for our physical event that didn't happen next year, we will continue to plan and do that for next year, 2021.
Yes, that sounds so great. And the fact that kids won't miss a beat, they'll still be able to participate in what is a worthwhile event and very exciting, and a rite of passage is really, really special. And to know that, supporters like Men's Warehouse and others are still part of it, it has a lot of legs to grow
Hmm.
bigger and better. And I think that's phenomenal. And of course, we appreciate what you do, Candace, your devotion and commitment to the initiative, and the growth of it since that time is really extraordinary.
Thank you
So
so much.
you're welcome. So make sure you let us know before we leave how people can reach you again, and we'll make sure that we put that information out so that young ladies and gentlemen can find you.
Okay, so you can go to operationprom2020.org, and that is to find out information about our June 6th streaming of prom. You can go to promnationalnetwork.org, and that will give you, for anyone, because if you have family and family members and anyone in any state that is interested in receiving any service from us, promnationalnetwork.org, you'll be able to reach all of our chapters. And you can reach Shonda's Prom Closet at shondaspromcloset@gmail.com, and Shonda is spelled Shonda.
Fantastic. We got it all. We got it in gown. Hello, people. Today I have with me the honor of interviewing the wonderful, magnificent, most extraordinary Patricia Sabri, also known as just Sabri, like
Exactly.
Cher. And she is the proprietor and artisan extraordinaire of Sabri's Gullah Art Gallery, located in Savannah, Georgia. And I tell you, I am so excited to have Sabri here. Well,
Thank
how
you.
are you?
I'm great. What about you?
I am so well, thank you, and excited
Yes.
to learn more, know more about the wonderful work that you do.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And
Well,
thank you for this opportunity because, it's not just about me, but it's also about the Gullah culture as well. And it's a great platform to be on your show and to also enlighten the public about the Gullah Geechee culture. So thank you.
you are so welcome. And yes, you got to let the people know about Gullah Geechee. When we come back, we're going to hear more from Madame Sabri, and she's going to take us through her art collection, which I tell you is nothing short of extraordinary. So stay tuned. Hi, people. We are back, and I'm here again with the fabulous Miss Sabri, who's going to tell us more about Gullah art, Gullah culture, and how it inspires the artwork that she makes in Savannah. So, hey,
Hi.
tell us more, tell us more.
Okay. Initially, I started out in education. And I was born and raised on a farm in Lake City, South Carolina. So Lake City is about 50 miles away from Myrtle Beach and about 120 miles away from Charleston. So all of those are Gullah Geechee territory.
Mm-hmm.
So being raised on a farm with 21 brothers and sisters,
How
and of the
many?
21,
What?
yes,
God
and
bless mom.
yeah, and
And dad.
dead. And of the 21 brothers and sisters, six were stillborn, but I still count them. So 15 of us survived. So many of us did, we went off to school, and I was teaching art. And around, I guess I would say, the second or third year of teaching, my spirit, it just kept saying to me, you need to be telling your story. you need to be painting your story. And so after a couple of years started to go by, certain things were happening. You know how you feel as if you're being pushed in a certain direction. And as much as I had loved teaching, that little voice that we all have, it comes to us and it tells us where we need to be and what we need to be doing. And so I did the unthinkable and I resigned from public education.
Wow.
And then the
were
rest
you an
is
art? Were you an art teacher?
I was an art teacher. From time to time, when you are an art teacher, sometimes they'll put you in other classes too as well, like English and reading and math, because my background, even though I had a degree in art, I had a master's in education. So
go ahead, girl. That's woman on fleek, all right? Continue. I'm sorry.
Yes. Okay. So I found myself teaching all these different courses and plus doing art too as well. And so when I stepped away from public education, I started to see, I was putting my artwork out there, and my daughter, she was champion beside me. We call her Free because of her free spirit nature.
Wow.
And so she championed beside me, and the two of us, we were doing it together. But I'm going to tell you something. When you're on this journey, you cannot do it by yourself.
Right.
It takes a team, and you have to have the home court advantage.
Yes.
And so I have two daughters, but my oldest daughter, her name is Free. She was the one who was really into the business side because her background was business, and she was doing culinary as well at Johnson and Wales.
Oh, wow. That's an excellent school in Rhode Island, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
And also in Charlotte too as well. Initially it started out in Charleston, but then they moved it to Charlotte. So with her background in business and also being an educator, that's business too as well. And so we brought those two worlds together. And one of my favorite pieces is called A Version of Self. And the reason why it's called A Version of Self, because there are many different facets to make up a person. And this one is the side of her that is most at peace and serenity. So depicted in the painting is Oshun. Oshun means ocean. She's goddess of the ocean. So she brings about solace, peace, serenity, love. She's a healer, but she also brings you fortune. Her color is yellow, and yellow is a very high vibrational color. In fact, when you see yellow, it correlates to gold. It's just a softer shade of gold. And I do have like a professional photographer who takes everything, he puts it into a digital file, and from that file I can brand, whether to put it on a pocketbook, to put it on let's say a curtain or anything.
So if you would, let's wrap up by telling people where they can find you online or by phone, and we'll make sure that we publish that information for people to see.
Okay, online you can go to www.sabreezegallery.com, and Sabree is spelled Sabree, put an S, gallery.com. And I don't know if I'm allowed to give a phone number. I have a 1-800 number as well.
Please.
Okay, it's 1-800. It's 548-6414. But the physical address is Sabree's Gullah Art Gallery, Savannah City Market, Studio 4, second level, 309 West St. Julian Street. And we're open every day. So when this virus thing is over, I'm going to be there. And you'll get to meet me, and I'll get to meet you. And you never know, you might walk out with a piece of beautiful Gullah art that you pick with.
That is fantastic. Well, we want to say thank you to Madam Sabree of Sabree's Gullah Art Gallery. Her space her place, her art is amazing, and it's something that you have to see. So we appreciate you.
And Susan, again, I thank you because by being on your show and with your great personality, it's just another resource and it's another way to get the word out about the Gullah culture.
Definitely. Honor of interviewing an award-winning scholar, renowned researcher in genealogy, Diane Wormsley. And welcome to the show. I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation to join you this morning. And welcome to my Genealogy Command Center.
I tell you, and it is stunning. I see there's a bunch of books in there. What's going on in there? What kind of research is happening?
My tools and my resources I bring to bear on any genealogical
well, tell us.
It's my own genealogy, or I'm doing it for clients.
Very good. It's good to know that you have the ability to assist people in their genealogical journey. Take us through your trajectory of getting into genealogy, what is required, what studies you conducted in order to become the professor that you are.
Okay, I'd be happy to. And I will give you the digest version. I think I was bitten by the genealogy bug when I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know it then, and resisted it then. But actually, when I go back and think, a lot of it had to do with the trips that I made with my mother to the family cemetery here in Queens. And it would seem like we went very frequently, probably not all that frequently, but I remember that. And I do recall my mother naming who was buried there. My energy at that time was to get out as fast as we got in. Why are we here?
Right. I could just imagine.
Exactly. In addition to that, I fell in love with pictures. And my mother was one to keep pictures and albums. And I would often pull those albums out and walk through them. I was fascinated by the different era I would see, the different clothing of ancestors that would be housed in the books. And I enjoyed those. Had no idea that they had something to do with setting off something in me. Fast forward, when I had children, I became more interested in trying to delve deeper into the family history. And I would do genealogy, I think, in fits and starts. That's how I would describe it. Get the classic day off from work, decide I'm going to an archives to retrieve something, to see something, only to get there and find out I'm in the wrong place for whatever it was I was seeking. This would also happen not only with me and going in person, but often by mail, writing to an archives to get something and finding out it's elsewhere. So I made progress, but very slowly. And yes, there were some major finds along the way, but not because of anything systematic that I was doing. I had no real methodology. Even further along, I decided that when I was going to retire, this was something I really wanted to jump in with all fours. Within 2 weeks of retirement, I launched into a professional genealogy course that was offered by Boston University.
Wow.
It was online, and wow. In one word, wow.
Was it everything that you thought it would be? Did it feed your thirst for knowledge?
Everything and then some. Truly exceeding my expectations. I had no idea that this was an area of study that could be pursued in a systematic way, that there was a script, a methodology that one could employ that would allow one to really move through and make great strides.
Mm-hmm.
So the result of that experience
Mm.
allowed me to fast track my genealogy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In addition, it set off in me the notion that I would love to teach others how to do it.
That's wonderful. So, when we come back, let's talk about some of the steps that people should employ to put their own genealogical resources together and keep them safe, because I know that that is something that you are big into. When we come back.
Okay. Okay. So the simplest definition that I can provide is that genealogy is the study of family history. But the definition that I like most for telling us what the research process is one that is provided by noted genealogist Tony Burrows. And it goes something like this. Genealogy tells us who the ancestors are, when and where they were born and died, when they got married, and who their parents are. That is the essence of what genealogy is. Tells us who our ancestors are and what their vital data statistics, their life events are. And we plot those and we work that process from one generation to the previous generation. And that's how we work genealogy.
So, with that being said, are there certain documents that provide that information? Because for the African American community, it's been our challenge, considering how we entered this country, on how to find those resources that provide us with that information.
Yes, indeed. There are two charts that are critically important to mapping out one's family history. The first one, just about everyone has seen, and it's called a pedigree chart or a family tree chart. And this chart starts with you, the individual. It begins with you, and then it shows you your parents and records your parents' parents, and backwards you go. And the information you're recording on that chart are the specifics regarding birth, marriage, and death for each individual that you record.
Now, what if somebody hasn't done the family tree? It's quite daunting to find pretty much just past your grandparents for many. What would you tell people as far as how to navigate the roadblocks?
Okay. The major tenet to remember, no matter how daunting it may seem, is that you must work from the present to the past.